What is going on? Movie meals, movie meals. All right, guys. I lost my voice a little bit a couple days ago, just getting it back, so bear with me. But we are here to talk War for the Planet of the Apes. Finally, this has been one of my most anticipated movies of the entire year, and I'm ready to talk about it. What about you?
I'm ready to talk about this too. Why don't you take this one away, man?
All right, I'll start with the positives of War for the Planet of the Apes, and I got to start by saying I love the franchise as a whole. I thought Rise was. I remember going and seeing it with my dad, and I was like, I wasn't really sure what movie we were seeing at the time. I remember, and I was like, wow, this is a good movie. And then Dawn blew me away, and this is the capping off the bow on the present of an amazing trilogy. This trilogy is dang near perfection. It is that good. This film, it has brilliant action, brilliant character development, taking Caesar to another arc where all of the past events, we saw in Dawn how events from Rise still haunted him, and now we see that continue, and we see his struggle and his pain. The CGI looked incredible. Look at that. Those were real apes. I don't care what y'all say. That was not Andy Serkis. That was a real ape they trained to speak. But in all seriousness, great performance by Andy Serkis. He one-upped himself again. It was just flawless. I loved this movie so much, from the action, the acting, the writing, the directing. Matt Reeves, I cannot wait for your Batman because of this movie and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I loved every second of it. You're up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. War for the Planet of the Apes takes this series to a whole nother level. It literally caps off almost one of the best trilogies I probably have seen in a long time.
It's up there now. It's up there now.
Honest to goodness, it really feels that way. And let me just thank Andy Serkis for it to start it off with. I mean, what he was able to do to take a character like Caesar and just elevate it in each movie is just amazing. And it all starts with how he uses his entire body, how he uses his facial expressions, because it's all mocap, it's all CGI, so he has to take his acting abilities to that level, and he does it to perfection.
This is amazing. An Oscar-worthy performance. It really
is. Absolutely, and I agree. And a lot of the credit should go to the guys who work on this CGI, because it's almost near flawless. Like, it looks even better than it Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and that was even hard to top, because that was also
They stepped
really
it up,
good.
The technology's progressed.
Oh, and yeah, like I said, Andy Serkis and the guys who are working all the CGI magic did such an amazing job with elevating this character to make us see how his arc, how his story progresses after the events of Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And not only that, but we also see how human interaction has really broken this character down even more, and part of that is because of Woody Harrelson, who plays an amazing antagonist.
I can't believe I didn't even
He was probably one of my favorites in this movie. He had such a great performance. The guy is such a terrific actor, and he really gives you such a hard, gritty, but you can almost relate to it in some weird, messed up way. The character is done very well, and it's a great antagonist.
His scenes, because he's not in it so much because it's Caesar's story, but his scenes, he has a little one-on-one with Caesar at one point where it's just kind of them talking, and it is so powerful when he talks about his past, his history, how they relate to one another, and even at the very, very end of the film, he's got just a powerful scene again with Caesar. He knocks it out of the park, and to do that as an actor, Woody Harrelson, is a incredible actor. He's always been a high caliber guy,
for sure.
But it's so difficult, even for some of those high caliber people, to look at
something that's not even
something that's not an actual ape. You know, it's like green screen, that kind of thing. It's hard for that. But then you go back to Andy Serkis. He's so good at it that you just get used to it, and you're like, this is an ape I'm talking to. This is not a human. And I sorry, I had to jump in there, but I guess I forgot to mention it. But it was brilliant.
I just want to cap off all the positives by saying all the action scenes are so amazing. There's probably two battle scenes in this movie that I thought were outstanding and were shot so well by Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is such a great director, just like you. I am so stoked for his take on Batman, and I hope he does a great job with it. And judging by what I've seen, what he's done in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes, I think we're in good hands.
He really took this movie and was able to make it not boring and still build to what, because there's a big epic battle at the end, but it's not super action heavy packed throughout the whole movie, and he builds to it. Whereas some franchises kind of lose that momentum.
They just ride on all the action.
Well, they'll either ride on all the action, or they'll say, all right, we're the setup, don't deliver. I'm looking at you, Final Hunger Games movie. Where this really said, all right, we're looking at his arc from these last few movies, and we're really going to follow it around and around, and you see his struggle, his anger, and that's why there's a scene, without getting into spoilers, a scene at the very end with Caesar that is so impactful.
Powerful.
Because you kind of get just a shot of his face, and you see everything he's been through from Rise all the way till now. This is legitimately one of the best trilogies of all time.
Yeah.
It is up there, and it's going to be hard to say... most people are not going to be like, oh, that's the clear weak one. That's the clear weak one of the three.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
Well, it's hard to do that for this because if you say, oh, that's which one's the clear weak one? Because Rise is really good. So is Dawn. And so is War. They're so good, and they just build on each other. And it's not three separate movies. It's one long story. And really I just loved it. Any more positives?
No, that just wraps it up for me. Such a powerful movie, not only for the action side of things, but also for the emotional character development that this movie brings to the table. And I'll cap it off there for my positives.
I honestly don't have a negative. So if you got one, I might maybe think of one. That'll be a small nitpick, but I can't think of a single one off the top of my head right now.
I'll say this. A little bit of the humor didn't quite hit me as much as it did for other audience members, but I think... just because I was taken so aback by how powerful that this movie was hitting for me in other emotional areas that's why the humor wasn't really working, at least for my opinion.
Well, you're talking about that there's a specific ape that's been seen in the trailers.
You're
talking about
that was going to be my next thing. I didn't really like a certain...
Well, he's the only humorous moment, really.
Well, okay, then I guess it's all into one big category then. There was also another ape character in this movie that I didn't particularly fall in love with as much as the rest of the audience does, I believe. Just for me personally, his humor wasn't quite working for me, and I thought he was kind of annoying in a lot of situations. But he does help at least carry the story towards from beginning to end, and at least he was able to do that for me. But really, it's a powerful movie. Such a great movie to cap off a trilogy. You guys definitely need to see this.
So I'm going to chime in on that for a minute because really those were the humor moments and the laughs came from this specific, the smaller ape or chimp. And I got to say, I laughed more than you, but there was a moment I was like, is he annoying me? But then when I started thinking about his character and who he is, he wasn't kind of like dumb running around ape to me. He was an ape in a zoo that was abused. I mean, the reason he says bad ape, he was an abused ape. And when I started thinking of it that way, it really hit me, and I was like, we are looking at so many different people that have been, so many apes, animals that have been abused and treated specifically by humans that now have our intelligence, if not even smarter, and they're stronger, and they can do much more.
Right.
And that I started thinking, well, they're going to go through similar things we go through as well psychologically. And so I actually, yes, some of the jokes didn't work, so I guess that'll be my nitpick too, where I guess some of those moments where I think they were like, all right, this will be a laugh, didn't really laugh for me, but I did get more than you. But as the ape character overall, I actually thought his arc really worked, and I thought it was impactful and emotional.
All right. Yeah, I can see what you mean by that, for sure.
All right, guys. What did you think of Planet of the Apes?
Wait, what did we think about it? What's our rating?
I forgot. I'm going a 9 out of 10. And I think I gave Dawn a very similar one, and if not, I've just rewatched it today, and it's back up to a 9. So I loved it. I'm going to go 9 out of 10 for War of the Planet of the Apes, one of the best trilogies of all time, and I want to sit down when it comes out on Blu-ray and binge all 3 in a row.
All right, I'll go slightly lower, 8.5 out of 10. Very solid movie.
You can leave.
I believe I gave Dawn a 9 out of 10. That one might be my favorite out of the trilogy. I'm not sure yet. I just got out of this movie. It's really hard to tell, but still a very well done movie, 8.5 out of 10. Please go check this movie out. It will totally be worth it.
And the apes look so good. They're so lifelike. It's incredible. Those close-ups are just amazing.
It's amazing what we can do.
So what did you guys think? Comment below. Let us know. Give us your thoughts, your scores out of 10, all that good stuff. And then like, comment, subscribe as usual.
Do all the things.
And we will throw this out as well. We talked in our last review, if you saw our Spider-Man Homecoming review, that we were going to have a spoiler review up. We ended up having a very annoying technical difficulties
Yeah.
with our spoiler review during editing and uploading process. So we're going to continue to try to get that up as soon as possible. But we also then just went on vacation for a few days, so we have both been kind of all over the place trying to get back to it. But we're now
that's for
home,
sure.
seeing movies, and we're going to try to have that up shortly after this one. So bear with us, guys.
It will be up.
Hopefully it'll really be up. But thanks for sticking with us through all this. Please, again, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, Mom, thanks for watching.
See you guys.